Alright, all you Insomniatic TV channel servers out there tonight, welcome back to the Tuesday Night Special. But according to the Maestro, at this point, we're really running out of time to really call it the Tuesday Night Special, and mostly because we got caught up in an interesting story with a kid who actually did blacksmithing and made a metal scarf. And I was wondering, and I was going to ask him, but I completely forgot before I left after helping them out with a heist, is he going to be able to use that metal scarf and give it to Dee Snider's grandmother? Because that's metal. That's very metal. Heavy metal, according to the Maestro, which is true. Man, I might learn to do some blacksmithing in the near future, too. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But besides us trying to learn a new profession outside of us on this microphone, I think it's time for us to go into another edition of the As Seen on TV. And seeing the fact that we just don't know when to say when to get out of the world of the What a Cartoon series, we decide to take one last ice cream scoop back in there to wrap up this month properly, and decided to use the brand new wheel the Maestro got from us since the fair is not going to be able to use it for this year, called the Wheel of Wonderment. And it's a beautiful rainbow colored wheel that we decided to spin, and it landed on none other than the classic cartoon by Butch Hartman known as Pfish and Chips. Now it's Pfish with a P and an F and then Chips. I never got that. I thought it was a typo when we typed it in, but no, it was correct. And the meat and potatoes of this said show involves none other than Pfish and Chips, who are a part of an elite bomb squad for Los Angeles, preventing bombs from going off from characters such as the Mad Clown, who's known as Blammo the Clown for their second episode, but the first one would feature them trying to defuse a bomb against none other than the Mad Bomber, who looked like a mix between the darker agent from Spy vs. Spy with a little hint of the Joker in there as well, with that hilarious laugh he would have at the end of every single moment when he would set something off, which I think was a boom. Which I always thought was funny as a kid and always made me laugh like it almost did there. And the interesting thing about this cartoon, folks, is that the person who played Pfish during this said cartoon, who went by the name of Robert Picaro, who also played as Bob Caparo during this said cartoon, would actually go on to be the voice of none other than Harvey Dent during Justice League Action. Nice! And of course, the person who played Chip would be none other than Butch Hartman himself, and Pat Fraley as the Mad Bomber. And the cool thing about this is that Butch Hartman would go on after this to create the Fairly Odd Parents, and then Danny Phantom, along with a litany list of other cool cartoons that were featured on the lineup of Nickelodeon. But before all this went down, I had no idea he worked for Cartoon Network for a short amount of time, till he mentioned it on his YouTube page during his origin story of how he became a cartoonist, or at least for major networks, which is cool. And the one thing I also loved about this show, besides the short fuse that Chip would always have during this cartoon, is the fact that during this episode, both of them would try to not wake up the chief as they would try to defuse the bombs that the Mad Bomber tried to actually set off on a multitude of occasions, which would not only be a check-in bomb, I do believe a duck bomb, a platypus bomb, and I think a static bomb was one of the other bombs that he was able to set off. So it was just a litany list of crazy Ratchet and Clank bombs that went off all in the room that the chief was in to prevent him from waking up, which was still funny. And the other episode, which involves them taking on Blammo the Clown, I do believe involved a train going through the chief's office, waking him up, and the clown, along with Pfish and Chip, riding off into the sunset, which was another cool thing about this said show. And for those who don't know, this debuted a part of the What a Cartoon series on July 9th of 1995, along with the second episode that would debut a little bit later than that in 1997. And yeah, was definitely a series I really hoped they brought to the main stage for Cartoon Network, but unfortunately they didn't go with this cartoon, and I think this was just around the same time as Dexter's Laboratory, so they went with that instead. Good choice, but seriously, I would have loved to see this cartoon make it to the big time, or at least Butch Hartman actually making the cartoon real in his world of his YouTube page that he currently has. I may ask him one day. And if you guys out there actually want to check out this cartoon, it is available on YouTube as we speak. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review shows along the lines of TV Guide or any of those other famous reviewers that you know of out there of the TV variety, we say this. If you want to go ahead and watch a show featuring a cat or a bobcat and a shark trying to defuse bombs from a mad bomber, a clown, and even have the help of the demolition Zoid along with them in the process, then I recommend you head on over, pick up your TV channel remotes, and watch that show. And according to the maestro, if you're lucky enough and wake up late enough in the morning on Boomerang, you may be able to catch it. We might be able to catch it. Yeah, that's even better. Thanks, maestro. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into that music once again. And when we return, we'll be back with another thrilling edition of the IndieK Triple S Deluxe right after this. So don't go watching reruns of that favorite TV show you love just yet, folks, and stay tuned.